Hello again, and we're on to 1.1.8. Apply relevant local and national policies or guidelines and collaborate with other members of the spiritual care and wider healthcare teams to incorporate these into practice. So again, another very practical competence. It's a combination of knowledge and skill in that you need to know the local and national policies or guidelines and then skillfully integrate them into practice by collaborating with other members of the spiritual care team. Very simple. So what we're going to do to start with is find the UK Board of Healthcare Chaplains standards, and they will look something like this. So this is a draft document that I had earlier. I think this has been updated. Nevertheless, your program lead will know where this is. So please ask them for it. And what this is the standards with a rationale associated with it. So these standard statements for chaplaincy are all supported by the evidence, as you can see there. And the next thing to do is to find the audit tool, which is used to apply these standards in practice. So here, for example, standard 1.A.1, the criteria is that spiritual needs are addressed and assessed. And the self-assessment question, this is to ask both yourself or the clinical area, if it's being audited, how is it ensured that the patients and those important to them have had the opportunity for their spiritual needs to be addressed? So it's about the practical again. How is this standard applied in practice? So that's the first part of this. And the behavioural component of this competence is healthcare chaplains will be able to facilitate the co-production and implementation of relevant local and national policies or guidelines. So the theory underneath this entails knowledge and policy of the skill of co-production. So this particular micromodule asks you to first find those competencies and the audit document, and then have a think about the literature on change management. So how would you go about articulating that standard in practice? And there's an example paper that you can have a look at here to look at leadership styles, leadership skills. And so the final task of this module is to imagine you're on a placement in a mental health unit, and one of the nurses is really happy to see you and wants you to pray for all the patients. You immediately think to yourself, what should I do here? And using standard 1A1, that spiritual needs are assessed and addressed, how would you go about explaining what you do and creating the environment to actually do that to that nurse? So that's your task for here. See you on 1.1.9.